Hello students, today we are going to talk about what a function is. Please remember to take notes as we go and complete the completion survey at the end. So if you can see here, these tables on the left side are functions, the tables on the right side are not functions. What I want you to do is copy these down in your notes right now under the four tables, and at the end we will come back to these so we can explain why the first two are functions and why the second two are not. So take a minute and copy those down. If you need more time to copy those down, go ahead and pause and then play when you're ready to go on. So, a function. The basic definition of a function is a relation in which each element of the domain is paired with exactly one element of the range. Now remember, domain is the x values, range is the y values. So every x value is paired with exactly one y value, which means there are no repeats in the x values when there are different y values. So let's take a look at some examples. If you can see here in this first table, we have -3, -7, 1, -1, 3, 0, 6, 9. Since there are no repeats in the x values, these are all different, and exactly one y value is paired with exactly one x value, then this is considered a function. If we look at this second table, -2, -1, 1, 2, again, there are no repeats in the x values, so this is why this table is considered a function. This is called a mapping. When we have a mapping, -2 goes with 0, 1 goes with 5, 0 goes with -2, and 3 goes with 3. Since there is only one line coming off of each of these x values or domain values, this means that it was a function. Another example of a mapping, you can see our first a values, which is our x values. There's only one line coming off of each value, which means it is a function. Even though there are two lines going to the 5, it doesn't matter that the 5 is being repeated, only if the a values or the x values are being repeated. Another way you might see these listed is as ordered pairs. Again, we don't want the x values repeating, so our x values are 3, 4, 5, 7, and 2. We have no repeats in the x values, so this is a function. Again, if you look at these x values, we have -3, 3, 4, -4, and 5. -3 and 3, while they're both, you see a 3 there, they are different numbers. One of them is a negative, one of them is a positive, so this is considered a function. Some non-examples. As you can see in these tables, we have 0, 1, 2, 1. The 1s are being repeated, which means this is not a function. In the second table, -2 is being repeated, and they have different y values, so this is not a function. In a mapping, you can see that in our x values, there's more than one line coming off of a number, and it's going to 3 other numbers. So since it's going to 3 different numbers, this is not a function. Just another mapping. X values are also called the input. There's 2 lines coming off the 0, and it's going to 2 different numbers, so this means it is not a function. And then listed as ordered pairs. In the ordered pairs, you have to pay special attention because this can be kind of tricky sometimes, but you see this 3 is with a 4, and then the 3 is with a 6. Since our domain is with 2 different ranges, this is not a function. Can you find the x value that's being repeated in these ordered pairs? If you haven't found it yet, or if you have, you should have -4, -4. The -4 is going with an 8, and the -4 is going with a 7. This can't happen. It can only go with one other value, so this is not a function. Alright, so I want you to go back to these 4 tables that we had in the beginning, and I want you to explain why the 2 tables on the left are functions, and the 2 tables on the right are not functions. Be specific in your explanations. If you need more time to explain, please pause the video and then continue when you are done. Don't forget, a function is a relation that has one x value for every y value, so no repeats in the x values as long as they're going to different y values. Make sure you have filled out all your notes. Take the completion survey right now so you don't forget. If you have any questions, bring them to class tomorrow.